Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I recently got a question if I may show how to create kind of a user preset as a starting point in Superior Drummer. And I thought this would be a good topic to speak about, as I got this question already when I used Superior Drummer 2. So let's dive in directly. I've loaded up a basic kit. This is the Pearl default kit. I just deleted some of the instruments to make it more convenient and compact to watch. Superior Drummer as a software can be quite overwhelming due to its complexity and the pure amount of features and adjustments you can make. But it's kind of easy to get a starting point when you want to enhance just the drum sound, when you just to play along, like drumming some sessions or play to your favorite songs. We go to the mixer section and you see Toontrack, they provide tons and tons of individual microphones, but they're already by default, as you see here, created some buses that you can start with. You have 13 individual mics by default, starting from the kick in to kick sub up to the ambience room microphones. But when you go here to the top, you can just disable them. So you see just the 6 different buses that Toontrack already created. You can create them on your own, of course, but this is more convenient to use and more easy to use because all the 3 different kick microphones, for instance, run through this channel, the 2 snare drums through this channel, and so on and so forth. As a starting point, and especially for beginners, and I use this up to this day already, is starting on the outputs, so like the whole drum bus. So all the adjustments you make there will affect the whole drum sound and not only a specific instrument in your drum track. So I already created something here. So let's first have a listen on the pure raw samples Toontrack Superior Drummer 3 provides. I've created already an EQ here. I will enable this. You see, this is the so-called smile curve. This is well known for EQing drums. The idea behind this is usually in that area here that you see between 200 Hertz and up to 500, 600, 700 Hertz. Usually there are some nasty frequencies that sound kind of muddy and boxy. And I will just exaggerate that that you hear what I mean, and I assume that you are listening on good headphones. So I will raise up the volume by 18 dB and you will hear what I mean. So this is typically for drums, even well-recorded drums like in Superior Drummer. In that area you have a lot of nastiness due to the drum construction. It's like this you find this on nearly every shell. Depends on the drum's shell and the sizes, of course, but usually in that area you always find some nastiness. But instead, as I said, of processing each and every track, you can start at the drum bus and enhance the overall perception. So let's bring this down again, where it was like -4 to -5 dB. This is enough. The second step I did is I've enhanced some of the low end, which is in this case at 50 Hertz. You have to be careful not to add too much dB here, too much volume, because this will end up in a boomy drum sound. But let's have a listen what this sounds on its own. Whoops. So you hear this is like really the thubby in your stomach sub-bass frequencies enhancing the kick. And the same here over here at the high frequencies something between 2 up to 5-6 kilohertz. This is like adding some brightness and some attack, especially because in that area you will create that stick attack on the drums, that attack on the drum shells. So you see just 3 slight moves, and I will now bypass the effects back and forth so we can hear immediately how those 3 tiny adjustments already enhance the whole drum sound. Just start with some slight adjustments on the drum bus. After this, I throw in compressor. You can start with one of the presets here. For instance, this gentle drum bus, this will work. I did some adjustments here. Just wanted to achieve 3 to 5 dB of gain reduction, so nothing really crazy, but this will like bring up the whole drum track as a whole more upfront, and with this will glue the track together to make it like more powerful. Let's have a listen back and forth. And now those two effects together, first bypass, and then I will bring them back in. So you see just two effects on the drum bus. And talking from top to bottom, now what you're gonna do, or what you can do, is go from the whole drum bus to the room microphones and the overheads, because those channels provide you a perception of the whole drum bus instead of the individual tracks. I've just created, you see, just some EQs. You see that nothing special on the ambience. I've decreased some of the low end because we already added something on the whole drum bus. Not to get the sound too boomy. Again, removing some nastiness here in that mid-range area, adding some high end, some sparkle. So like, have a listen on that. And the same approach for every channel. Overhead, same approach here, removing some low end, adding some, like here in that 200 Hertz area, you find like some of the body of the snare drum, removing some nasty frequencies occurring from the toms and the snare drum here, back and forth. And this is what I did with each and every track. So let's enable all of those and have a listen back and forth. So first I will start with the effects enabled, and then I will bypass them. And you see on the kick I added some of this attack here to really get a clicky metal kick, removing some frequencies, adding a slight bit of low end as well. And you do this same for the snare. You can do this for each and every channel, finding some frequencies that you don't like, remove them, adding some of the body in the attack, and you see you get a way better and more in your face sound. And once you do that, now you have your starting point. You can go to the settings here where you find all the presets, go to Save As, and let's say we name this my default kit. And as a tip, you can here go to the top left corner where it says File, set current to default project, and every time you open Superior Drummer 3, this setup with those drum shells and instruments and all the mixer adjustments you made will pop up immediately, because this will be your new default kit. Once you understand that, you can go being creative, of course. Let's say we create, we're gonna show this one here. I've created a reverb channel. I've sending a copy of the snare drum to this reverb channel. So let's have a listen. So this is the unprocessed snare from this channel here. I've added a plate reverb. Let's have a listen on its own. And now bring that in so you can hear what it sounds. And now, as you had already your starting point, go again to the presets, go to Save As, and say my default kit reverb. And so on and so forth. Now you can add another difference, but it's another instrument, another effects, being creative, but you always have the starting points. Make sure not to override it with all the settings you did, but this is like the starting point, having a good preset on your own, and from there you can try your own, adding, stacking some other instruments from other libraries, playing around with all the effects until you find a preset or a sound that you really like. I hope you find this helpful. Again, if you have any questions regarding this topic or Superior Drummer in general, as always, leave a comment below. I appreciate every reaction. Thanks so far for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.